Guys. Hey, welcome back. All right, let's go ahead and take a little peek at a collective message, see where we're at with things. By the way, I'll be doing a bonus today, what their soul craves, and that is going to come up after this. Shout out to Rachel's Magic. That was a request that she made. I wanted to make sure that I honor a few things that maybe I haven't specifically hit on before. We'll also have a message from a pet as well that's going to come out a little bit later on today. So stay tuned for those and we'll get into zodiacs. King of Coins, Judgment sideways, Page of Swords upright. Okay, so first off, we're rocking some Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, possibly divine masculine energy. He looks very pained. I'm just going to say there is a look in his eyes, even the set of his mouth. It's like his mouth is open just a smidge, like I'd like to say something. And the fact that we do have the Judgment card sideways, which of course can be a card of, uh, can we make up? Can we interact again? But that card is sideways. I almost think this is somebody saying, could you see me as a recovered or repaired version of myself? He is in a really strong energy as the King of Coins upright, but he's obviously doing some spying, gathering some kind of information. Now, let's say this is a different person. This could, of course, be a same-sex couple, and we're not even sure if this is a couple yet, but it is somebody who would like either to say, could we fix things? This could be a father to son, or this could be a son noticing the change in his father, seeing that his father would like to repair maybe some kind of relationship. But let's keep going and wait till we see what we've really got here. 9 of Wands, 10 of Coins. So many things are going well for this King of Coins, with the exception of this Judgment aspect. So the person that he most, who by the way could be a Scorpio, but the person that he most wants to reconnect with, the person that he's doing some spying on, the person that he would like very much, again, we keep seeing like to make an offer, maybe an offer of money, maybe somebody who wants to offer their stability. Maybe they want, a new beginning. Birds sing in every tree, and it's, we're balanced again, and here we are in our tree of life. It does feel like a divine masculine wants to put his family back together, is what I would say right now. And no matter how much he's worked on himself and made, progress in himself, that's the thing that's still missing for him. Is I just, it bothers me so much that I don't think I've been forgiven. Emperor, King of Wands. Okay, so literally we're laying this on like with a trowel right now. This is a real thick layer of masculine energy. I'm hearing, I will be your father figure. Put your tiny hand in mine. I will be the one who loves you till the end of time. He wants to love somebody. He wants to show somebody I could protect, I could defend, I could, lead, I could be all the things. I could offer you something stable. I could offer you so much now, and I didn't in the past. Who do you want to offer this all to? We can see this is clearly his story, right? He's multiple different versions of a king. He wants to offer so much more, almost like over offer to make things right in order to make up for what was wrong in the past. Can we just see, before I even say who is he trying to offer this to, what was the thing that he wants to be forgiven for with that Judgment card? 10 of Swords, Death card. Okay, he walked away from somebody. Maybe this is somebody who walked away from a family. Maybe it's somebody who abandoned or, was stuck on some other lifestyle that was not great, and then they weren't around. Maybe this is an absentee parental figure, or perhaps this is somebody who, and this looks bad, like however they left was 10 of Swords. They walked out, and they may have walked out on somebody at a time where there was like nothing else growing. This could have been a breakup with a lover at a time where, that lover had gone through all kinds of problems. It could have been a really difficult point in like history or their personal life, and he just bounced after like an argument or something. And it was like, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me what you're going through, how little resources you have. I'm out. I'm going to go and do whatever I want and rebuild my life. Sorry, I'm wincing a little bit because I'm like, yikes. We've got the Nine of Wands. I definitely feel like he left somebody at a time where they were in financial hardship, because here they are. We see like the cave here, instead of being up on the surface or the earth's crust running with the kangaroos. I think that they left somebody high and dry, and it could have been a financially difficult time, or a time where it was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to figure this out, and I only have me to rely on. And I think that they went ahead and they left somebody anyway. The thing is, and I will say this, no matter who it was that they walked away from, maybe we'll find out in a minute here. We do have a Prince of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles. The person that they left, maybe after an argument, a fight, because the Ten of Swords is ugly, on the Death card is like, oh, it's totally over. Here's the thing. Them leaving this person, it didn't make a negative impact in this character's life. The person that was abandoned by them, broken up with by them, even though they left this person in a dire straits, this person, you notice how the ancestors were here to help this character. We see all these didgeridoos, all of this ancestral rock art painted here. Even if our character was like cloistered away, having to reinvent themselves, having all their stability pulled away from them, plus having a breakup at the same time, whomever this is, they didn't end up in a bad situation. They maybe had to reinvent themselves, but this person has blossomed beautifully, and it's all theirs. They don't have anybody that they have to like share the success with. Yes, it took time. This is somebody who's rebuilt their life. They reinvented the wheel. They've slowly but surely grown and blossomed, and everything that they've done, it's like it was very slow progress, but slow progress is sometimes the most stable. So whomever they broke up with, left high and dry, walked away from, that person has changed and turned their life around. That person also has nothing to do with them at this point, right? Who are you, character? Can we see who you are? Prince of Cups. Somebody who has sailed on into other things that they like better in their life. Could be a masculine, doesn't have to be. Could be a water sign, doesn't have to be. It's somebody who I think doesn't really think about them anymore. It's somebody who has quite a happy life. It's somebody who has sailed onward. They follow their heart. I almost think that this is a person whose life has gotten better. We have a Knight of Wands. This is a creative. This is somebody who's spiritual. This is somebody who, I know normally a Knight of Wands can be that player energy where it's like, oh, I'm doing this and then uprooting and running over here and doing something else. That's not the way we look at this particular Knight of Wands. This particular Knight of Wands is not rushing around anywhere. It's somebody who has had these massive amounts of inspiration. Oh, I should do this, and then I should do this, and then I should try this. It almost feels like the universe has helped this character rebuild their life. With maybe they've had divine inspiration for all kinds of things that they love doing. Maybe they've created a business for themselves. They've created a new life for themselves. They're flooded with inspiration, almost like this masculine energy that we saw at the beginning, the one who walked away, the one who left this person high and dry. It's almost like they were, sometimes when your Wi-Fi is blocked, and if you move to another part of your house, now you have Wi-Fi. It's almost like they were the blockage to this person's, Wi-Fi communication with the universe. And now they've had a flood of great ideas ever since this person's been out of their life. Now, granted, we could also say, yeah, they had to have a flood of good ideas because they were left high and dry. Whatever happened here, they were abandoned at a very difficult time of their life, but then they had some help from the ancestors. They, worked really hard. They have built their resources out of nothing. They have moved on from the memory of this lead character who has an awful lot of regrets. who would like to now come back in and offer everything that they didn't before. The irony here is like, I don't know that this character needs anything from them or would want anything from them because their life has just blossomed and it's totally like they own their life. Okay, one more time. Who are you? We see you as two different knights. We see you as somebody who's moved forward. We see you as 7 of coins going to the 8 of coins. Yeah, this is somebody who has definitely made tremendous progress, especially recently. This could be somebody who's having a glow up right now. Now they come across as a feminine. Before they came across as masculine. We have the Wheel of Fortune to the Justice card. And then we have the 9 of Cups to the 10 of Cups. I really think that at this point in life, everything that, and now it's looking like this could be a feminine. This could maybe be a daughter whose father wants to come back into her life and be like, I'm sorry, I know I left, you and your mom. Well, it was very difficult circumstances. I know I didn't support or I didn't, I wasn't there, but I'd like to now, but I don't know if you'll ever forgive me. I don't know that it's a matter of that. Now, this could be about a romantic partner also. I know I left you during a really difficult era in history, time when you'd lost a job, the time when you didn't know what was going to happen. And that's when we had a breakup and I never looked back to make sure that you were okay. Well, at this point, it looks like she's signing her name to the wall of success. She's got so much that she's built for herself. Her Wheel of Fortune is smiling more in her favor now more than ever. She's been growing and growing and growing. And now we have this exponential leaps forward. We have all this tremendous growth for her. And it says she's finally getting what's right for her, what she's been denied. She's finally getting everything. With the 9 of Cups to the 10 of Cups in particular, she's also feeling more grounded. She's got more stability. She's got more power here, right? That 9 of Cups to the 10 of Cups is, at last, I'm arriving. She may be about to buy a house. She may be, she maybe has built a great family around her. I don't think her life has been missing out on them at all. But I think last night, the video that I put out for October the 23rd, it was about somebody getting a tremendous dose of karma. And you notice that the Justice card is here. The scales have tilted now after all this time, after all this effort she had to put in to rebuild her life. She's starting to get her fortune. Meanwhile, they'd like to come in and offer oh my God, I could give stability. I could give, money. I could give love. I could give all these things. I wonder if you would ever take me back. Let's just ask. Feminine, would you want this person in your world? Page of Coins to the Knight of Coins. Talking to this person, she might be open to. The Knight of Coins is I guess if they wrote to me or if they said something to me, I would digest what they had to say over a long period of time. I would think about the weight of their words. I would process their words. The Hermit to the Wheel of Fortune. I would not respond to them. I would just process and I would consider and then maybe pray on it. Or he's sitting, by the way, on this wheel of musical notes. And so I don't know if it's I would listen to some meditative music while I ask my higher self, what do I need to do with this? This person who's reaching out to me seemingly out of nowhere that wants to reconnect with me. What am I to do with this? Is there something I'm supposed to do with this? Do I want to do anything with this? Knight of Wands to the Queen of Wands. She kind of stands outside the front of her home with her wand, almost in a little bit of a protective stance. And if anything, I think if she's, kind of processing this, or will be processing them reaching out to her, it almost looks to me like she's saying, I don't know that I need anybody to come. I don't want them in my house. I don't want them in my house. If they want to show up in my life all of a sudden, because I'm a queen, I'm self-possessed and cordial, But I definitely have my boundaries. Um, Fine, they want to say something to me, that's fine, but I see them as somebody who's unstable. I see them as somebody that, I've built my stability. They never had stability. You notice how she hasn't been like harboring this, like, oh, how could they leave me just when I needed someone? You notice how she doesn't have an ounce of like animosity or self pity. It didn't even cross her mind, honestly, that they should have been there for her. And I think this is testament to how in control of her own life she is. So good on her or him, like whomever this is. I don't, you didn't build my life. I built my life. You're not a stable person. I'm super stable. She never expected them to build stability for her. I don't even know. Do you feel any feels about the fact that they, the way things ended with them? King of Cups. If anything, she's like, I don't think about them. My emotions are all about my life. She may also have either fallen for somebody, or she's met other great people, or she has found that the energy of the universe and her emotional flow is so fulfilling. We have a feminine on this King of Cups. I don't think she's been wanting, even though she had to maybe rebuild her life from a difficult time frame. I think she's actually somebody who either has found support from the universe, found support from her own heart space, has been very aware that she's had those, spectacular ideas that have come to her that really like, jazzed her, and just great ideas that filled her mind. I see everything here is like magician sideways. She's she hasn't ever looked at it like you left me and I had to struggle. She's looked at it as like, I'm in charge of my life and I have always had divine inspiration. I manifest. I know who I am. I connect to my higher self. The things that I want in this world, when I get really clear on them, I actually make them happen with a little, fairy dust from the universe, my guides. I'm not sitting around boo-hooing over them. They didn't wreck my life. They never had the power to do that. I have control of my life. Good for her. That is amazing. So I guess final message then on his side, because he keeps saying, I don't know that she'd ever take me back. I left just when she was in like a really difficult time. I was supposed to be there. I was supposed to offer something and I didn't. Look, with the devil here and the Page of Wands, this person, I'm just going to say that back in the day, they were, it was no loss that they stepped out of her life, even though they're saying, I left her at such a difficult moment. Look, she's way more of a survivor and she has control over her own life. They were the ones who could have been more of a hindrance and a help to her, actually. There's not any sorrow or grief that they left. In their mind, they feel ashamed of themselves, but in truth, they were in a very toxic place. In truth, they are somebody who had to like build themselves up. It's an illusion that they could have offered her something of stability back then. They were a mere page, and a page struggling with their own demons at that time. So this is not a story of like, how dare you, you could have helped her, but you didn't. They were not, they were a blockage to her. That's why she's probably never seen it as like, oh, they should have been there for me. Like, what? Honestly, my lives have been rad. I build what I want. I mean, do I need them in my life? I don't know. I only see them as somebody who's unstable. I guess if they want to talk to me, I'll hear them out and I'll think about their words. But in my memory, they're just somebody not to rely on. That is actually an amazing part of this story. Is there any potential for these two to like interact again or have a relationship? Nine of Swords is here. There's a lot of stress surrounding that, especially if she still sees them as the broken one. They're the ones saying, I have so much to offer now, but oh my God, I didn't offer her anything in the past. She may never take me back. She may never be able to forgive me. And she's the one looking at them with like this kind of compassion, pity of like, I know that you have a lot of problems. I get it. You want to come back into my life. She doesn't see them as trying to come in with some amazing, like reformed version of themselves who has a lot to offer. She's always thought of them as they're the tragic one. That's an interesting plot twist on that, isn't it? Look, maybe they'll surprise her and they have a lot to offer now. Maybe this is a relationship that could become something else, but I'll say it would be a hard sell for her because she's only known them as unstable and she herself is very stable. So with this storyline, I don't know if, I mean, it looks like these two will talk again, but it just doesn't look like the situation, how he sees it, is at all the way she sees it, which was an interesting twist. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks so much for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye.